Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mind Over Madness podcast, where I'm joined by Sean.
The angel, yes.
The angel Sean, who is lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. But I also have Victoria, she's behind me. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Are you good?
You're doing okay?
Yeah, I don't want to incriminate myself. Why is this an
fair.
interrogation?
I'm not... Christ. Right, so, yes, occasionally we might get Victoria to join in and give her opinions on something.
Victoria.
Yes, Victoria.
I don't have many opinions.
I normally call her Vic. Well, you do have opinions, they're just not very PC. Like me and Sean, really, so you're fine.
You don't want me to speak.
When did I say this?
I'm a woman.
Oh, God, I didn't say that. That came from her. Let me make that clear. So, yes, just to start this off, I want to thank everyone who watched the last podcast that I, again, very kindly did with Josh. Thank you, mate, for doing that, talking about OCD. It's literally the quickest viewing podcast that I don't know how it did very well, so thank you very much. And to all the nice messages that I got from it as well. So, and I'm glad that his family enjoyed it and they thought it was respectful. It's the main thing about it. So hopefully you enjoyed it as well.
I watched it. I thought it was very good. Like, very brave man, Josh. Well done.
Yes.
And yeah, it's a really insightful little interview, I suppose.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was a weird one to prep for. I'll tell you that much. Because normally I'm used to just me and you sitting on here and riffing. That's basically it for the entire time. But with Josh, like we had to plan the questions. I sent them over to make sure he was okay with them, and it was so much prep. But I'm hoping to do more stuff like that. Possibly also getting Sean involved as well. So both of us can talk to people about it, which would be cool.
Yeah.
Not just OCD, everything. But on that note, how have you been, my dude? How are things?
I've been very well. It's a bit busy in the house at the moment, but I've had my sister living here and stuff, but she's now moved on, and now we're getting this kitchen sorted, so it's all a bit noisy here. So it's all right.
It's all right.
But that's going to be coming to an end next week. So
oh wow,
onwards.
Quick, fairly quick.
Yeah, really quick. That's the benefit of doing it through like a main DIY company. Then they just like get it all organized for you, so you don't have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So because you can have the builder, the plumber, the tiler all at the same time. And otherwise you've got to wait weeks between one of them's going on holiday, the next one's going on holiday. You've got to wait for him. He can't do that until he's back. And
so, we have to extend it by 3 weeks because the plumber has taken a holiday.
So it turns like a 5-month job into a 5-day.
Fair enough.
Well, how have you been anyway?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Lots gone on in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, did the other podcast, which was kind of cool. Been making sure I'm staying in touch with people. Sorting out some good old noggin stuff as well, which has gone well. That's making progress. That's getting there. I won't discuss that too much, but in future maybe. So yeah, a few good things moving forward. And just drinking a lot of tea, really. Just that's about it. I have a very exciting life. I contact people. I play games with you. Me and you play a lot of games. We've been talking a lot recently, which has been nice. Obviously, I've been spending time with Vic, which is always a pleasant experience until
Don't you lie on camera?
Until she says things like that. But yeah, no, it's not bad. It's been good.
Now I've seen you both in the flesh somehow.
Yeah. Well, maybe soon. Maybe soon one day. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe the next one. Maybe at some point this year we'll do a podcast in person. That would be interesting.
Yeah. That'll be really different.
Be different. Be a weird one.
Well, like anyone who watches these podcasts will know that there's a little formula we abide by. We don't have many strict plans for these things, but we do follow a little formula of talking about the news and then the games and films, and then a bit of a interesting riffing conversation at the end. So shall we jump straight into the news?
Yes, let's. I mean, I'll be honest. I've got two things. One of them which has been everywhere since yesterday, and the other one which is just very basic stuff because I haven't got a lot. But absolutely.
Let's touch on the elephant in the room then.
Yes,
Prince Phillip.
Yes, poor bugger. Yes, he unfortunately passed away at the age of 99. He was going to turn 100 this year.
Yeah, 2 months away from 100, I believe.
Wow, that's so that's. Whew.
I think everyone secretly wants to get to 100. Yeah, it's that little done, isn't it? But it's a shame. He's been in and out of hospital for the past few months.
Yeah, he's been poorly, hasn't he?
I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that this has happened. Like, he was 99 at the end of the day. Like, at that point, people are, picking out their outfits for the funeral.
It's like you're lucky to get to that these days in this day and age.
I mean, it's amazing how much footage they already had, like films and stuff they had prepared, like over the years. Like, as if something like this happened, they would just broadcast it all day, every day. It's like, wow, that was quick. It's almost like you prepared that earlier.
Yeah. I did actually watch the 40, I believe it's 40 or 41 cannon salute as well. I actually sat for the full thing, which was interesting.
I was busy visiting my own grandfather.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't actually watch that because Prince Philip is just, another old man in the sea of old people out there.
I do get that, yeah. I mean, I'll be honest, that was kind of my thought process of it yesterday as well. Was like, I don't really see the big deal of it. I know that some people may be shocked, but yesterday I was very much kind of, I don't really see the big thing. Yes, it's sad. Okay, he was the longest reigning
monarch, was it?
I think, well, no, the monarch's the Queen. But, he was one of the longest reigning in the royal family. I apologise, I can't remember the specifics. But I read a bit into his life today, sort of learned a bit more, educated myself on the matter, and it is actually quite shocking. Like, he gave up a very promising career in the Navy to be by the Queen's side and support her through everything. I think he only retired, 2017, 4 years ago, when he turned 96. He did his last final appearance publicly and then retired, which was the salute at the front of the palace, I believe. Could be wrong on that, but it was a lot, and like his family history and stuff. There's 2 links down below that talk about his life and stuff. I'll leave them down there if anyone wants to go and read them. But he's had a fascinating life. Like, he came from, like, I believe it was like Greece. I don't know. I'm still learning. He had sisters that had married into like the German army, really like high-ranking German army and stuff during the Nazis. Like, there's so much history with his life that it was so interesting to read through it all. And although I'll be honest, it hasn't really hit me. I'm admittedly, I'm not that patriotic. So when it comes to kind of the royals and stuff, you may have picked up on this enough past podcasts, but I'm not exactly, a humongous kind of patriotic person. But it is a very sad day, and I think it was a testament.
Well, it's like however you feel about the royal family is how you'll feel. How sad you will feel about Prince Philip. Of course, it's sad that anyone dies, but it's either he's just another person, or he's this great huge icon that married the Queen and has served the country for so long.
Yeah, and he's done some fantastic things. Don't get us
wrong. Duke of Edinburgh Award.
Yeah, he definitely set up a bunch of charities. He did a lot for the world as well, and I can only imagine how difficult this must be for like the royal family dealing with it as well. Because it's such a public thing. Like, there's no rest. I know they said they did put a statement out. Buckingham Palace put a statement out, I think, saying something along the lines of "Don't leave flowers, kind of donate to charity and stuff."
I'm going to have like a private funeral kind of thing for him because he wasn't want to make a fuss.
Yeah, which is quite nice to hear. I mean, to be honest, I loved his humour. That's the one thing I will always say is, like, I loved his edgy jokes, like, throughout the years. And a lot of people gave him shit for it, but I think that was kind of, I don't know, something that made him more down to earth, I think.
Just more relatable to the average person.
Yeah, exactly. I completely get why the Queen isn't, touting jokes like that. I mean, absolutely. She has a certain sort of, she has to live up to that reputation, which is probably enough stress as it is.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine the pain she's going through. 70 years of marriage.
She's had a bad year as well.
God bless her. And, again, even though they'll never see this, obviously our thoughts go out to them and their family, and we hope for the best. And, of course, people who are struggling and grieving, be sensible. If you want to go and mourn at the, palace and things like that, still keep to the COVID rules. I've seen a lot of reports of, like, people breaking rules and stuff while they're there, and purposely like trying to gather in crowds. Don't do that. Don't be a dick. They're going through enough as it is. They're still humans. I know people may see it as like royalty and the Commonwealth, but still, there's still people at the end of the day. They still have emotions. They just have to act a certain way in public because that's just the perception.
Of course, stage managed.
I think Harry said that he's actually coming back from the US to attend his grandfather's funeral.
That's great.
But there's no, because admittedly, I think Harry was very, very close with Philip. I think because Philip walked behind with Harry and his brother when they were obviously after their mother passed away so tragically.
Yeah.
He has stuck by them ever since, so I think it probably has hit him a lot more. But there's no evidence to show that Meghan Markle, of course, and Archie, their child, is going to be there. But who knows?
Well, it's not really. I suppose it is to do with them, but
yeah,
it's more about Harry.
Yeah, it's more, and again, all thoughts and prayers go out to them. Obviously, it's an absolute tragic thing for anyone to lose someone in their family, regardless of if you're royal or not. But I think it does. It's a difficult one to sort of say this on, but I also think it makes another poignant point, which is that, as well as loads of other people that have died in this last year, although such a great man and a great human being, there are other families that have suffered this year, and I think we should be grateful for the families that we have and the people we have in our lives as well.
Yeah. If you would like to hear more on this story, just turn on the television and any channel.
Literally, it's everywhere.
You will see it because, very special man.
Exactly, and it's a monumental moment as well for the royals. So, it's a sad topic, but I thought we'd mention it. Apologies that we don't know more, but it's very difficult to look up a lot of stuff on one subject when you're pushing so many different ones out all the time. Mm-hmm. So, links down below. Of course, turning any channel, you'll see something, even on the radio. So, yeah.
We're not royal experts. We're just people giving opinions on, life matters.
And subjects.
So in other news, move on.
Let's move on.
There's some news about the Astrazeneca vaccine, apparently, that sometimes causes blood clots, and the government has recommended that under 30s don't receive the vaccine if there's an alternative available. But if there isn't, then they can still receive it. So they kind of recommended that under 30s take different vaccines rather than the AstraZeneca one because it could cause blood clots. So I'm not sure. I think the figure's like 1 in a million or something, people who've had these blood clots. So it's a very small percentage. It's a very small risk to people having it. Yeah. But what do you think about them all putting this all over the news and publicising it? This is before Prince Philip, of course.
Fucking ridiculous. Because again, it's just causing widespread panic and people to go, that it's not good for you. It's 1 in a million. Get a fucking grip.
Yeah, and it's gonna slow everything down, isn't
it? I understand them being cautious about it and being like, well, look, there is a possibility. 1 in a million is such a, again, like it was even in the US. We talked about it the other week. When they did over 32,000 people were part of like a test for AstraZeneca, and not a single one had an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why it was allowed in the US now. Like it's ridiculous that people are still like, oh well, there's 1 in a million chance you might get a blood clot. Yeah. Really, if you catch COVID, you could die.
Yeah, there's much greater risk there.
Yeah, what choice would you go for? It's like I don't care. I'd still get the AstraZeneca regardless.
Yeah, me too. It's just gonna like really slow down the rollout of thing because. I mean, they were like 200 miles an hour getting all the old people and the like clinically vulnerable people done, which is great. And now it's kind of just slowed down to like 100,000 new doses or something, which is still a lot, but it's nothing compared to what we were getting. I know they're trying to catch up with the second doses as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like it's just going to slow people down, and people are going to be like turning up at vaccine centres. Oh, you want to offer me this one? I don't want that one. I want this one. And it's just going to promote fear, and anyone who's like even remotely anti-vax will just jump on this.
Yeah, exactly. It's like more ammunition for the idiots to fucking see. Even the government admits it's not good. Yeah. It's 1 in a million, please. Yeah. just
I think there should be some kind of threshold that they have to pass before they release news to the public. Like, how can they confirm that this is even a link if it's such a small percentage of people?
Again, there's been numerous tests. Again, I get that these vaccines were rushed out. They were done extremely quickly. So I understand people were worried in the beginning. But over half of the population have now been given it. Come on. Enough is enough now. Enough fucking around. Enough trying to find any excuse not to have it. Just take the goddamn vaccine. I'm kind of at the end of my tether hearing kind of shit like this because it's just stressful. It's like we're so close to being able to go back to some form of normality. Stop trying to fuck it up.
Yeah.
We've been locked in for too long.
Yeah, exactly. It's been way too long.
Ones who don't want to take the vaccine can just stay inside their homes and we'll live our lives.
Well, yeah. Well, like I was talking to my mum about this, and she was kind of like, "Well, what's your take on it?" Because my mum did mention that there was someone like who was in hospital who had got a blood clot from the vaccine, and even they were still touting to like take the vaccine. They were like, "No, you should still have it. It's still important." And it's what I suggested was, okay, cool. Well, don't give them a passport. Don't let them go anywhere. Don't let them go into shops. Don't let them do anything. Don't let them have a fucking life. Be like, no, you haven't had the vaccine. You can't come in here and do your shop. Well, I need food. Fuck you. We need to be protected from a virus that could kill millions of people. Don't be such a selfish twat. Like, you know, it's like, there's ways of circumventing people that don't want to have it, but it's like the government can't be asked. They're just like, nah, just take the vaccine. It's easier.
It'll be discriminatory to do that, won't it?
Yeah, well, I feel discriminated against because they don't want to be protected.
I know, yeah. That's the thing, but they'll always go for the politically correct way rather than the realistic way.
Yeah. It's a frustrating topic, I think, more than anything. Because I kind of wish that people would... I know it's not an idealistic... It's an idealistic thing, but I kind of wish people would just shut the fuck up. Take the vaccine whether you don't want it or do want it, just so we could get back to safety, so then it can become a yearly vaccine, and then if you want to be a dickhead, feel free. But by that point, enough people will be safe that we can have our lives back. I think, like, over a year now this shit has been going on. It's like, I don't want a third lockdown. I don't want another fucking 5 months of being stuck inside, you know. If I go outside, I'm breaking the rules. Like, it's...
Yeah. Go into a shop, you don't know whether you're coming or going, you're wearing a mask, you've got to walk this way, walk that way.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at you if you happen to walk in next to someone.
Well, it's not even that, it's like people don't follow the fucking rules anyway. So it's just, true. I've stopped, like, I don't know if this is just a me thing, it could be, but any time I can not have to go to a shop, I won't. Like, it's just easier. Because people don't follow the rules. I see people in shops now not wearing masks. Do they get reprimanded? No.
No,
people don't care anymore. And it's so infuriating because it's like, I understand that like people who work in retail and stuff aren't going to call people out on wearing masks. Like, it's not their job to be shouted at by some ignorant prick who doesn't want to put a mask on for 2 minutes. It's not fair. They're going under enough stress and pressure as it is. But it's the fact that there's no punishment for these people, even though people like governments are like, oh, we'll fine you. Find them. You won't even find them. So how the fuck are you going to find them and be like, well, we found you now, but we have no evidence.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's like one of those things you can just go around in circles because it's just so idiotic.
Yeah. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, we've talked about this literally for the past year. I mean, this month, it's a year we've been doing this podcast, and numerous times we have got annoyed.
Mentions the ignorance of people.
Yeah, and it's like, you can do it all day, man.
I know. You can only change your behaviour and not theirs, which is the fact of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a frustrating fact, but it is a
so all you can do is avoid going to the shops, or be even more cautious for yourself and your family.
Yeah,
they're just not willing to do it, which is the only thing you can do.
Again, it's that thing is that we always say, just please be sensible. If you don't want to wear a mask, at least keep your social distancing and don't go into places that require a mask. There you go. Yeah.
But even that's just like we're preaching to people who already will be doing
exactly.
that.
Yeah. People, if you're watching this, I'm sure you've got a brain.
Yeah.
People who aren't are typing in the chat going, "Well, you're a smelly, smelly man, you." It's like, great. Okay.
You won't be watching something like this.
Huh? And you kind of laugh like Scooby-Doo.
What? Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
I guess I do have that Scooby-Doo laugh a little bit. Who knows? But,
I've only just now noticed it, and I'm never not going to not notice it now.
Yeah. I don't do it that often, but it does happen.
Segue there.
Good segue.
Do you have any more news things to talk about?
I only have one more, and it's it's going to be very quick because I still haven't done a lot of research. It's
going to be very quick.
Yeah, it's literally the Northern Ireland stuff that's going on currently. I from my brief knowledge of the situation, it's to do with the protocol, the Northern Ireland one, literally named the Northern Ireland Protocol. So it's something I believe. Again, facts check it down below. I'll try and find some sources. But there's something again. Boris is doing things that are causing an uproar in Ireland. There's been like 14 police officers, I think, injured recently from the riots last night. It's been going on for ages. Like, why are people so annoying?
Yeah. I think it's all going to come down to every single nation in the United Kingdom just wants to be independent.
Yeah,
I think,
except Wales,
because they just don't like. I think you're like there's something about Welsh independence going around at the moment.
Yeah, it's going around, but I think Mark Drakeford did say something along the lines that he has no interest in it. Like, we have enough. I think it was a couple of months back he said something along the lines of when he got asked about independence, because obviously Scotland is really fucking hammering that home. They want that. Yeah. When he got asked, I think he said, well, I don't think now's the time, one, and B, we have enough power as it is. We don't need any more. So I don't think Wales is going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I guess that's kind of a good thing right now. I don't think Wales could support itself on its own, and the last thing we need is a border between England and Wales. So, especially in the times that we're in, I think it's not the right time. Scotland have been talking about it for years and years and years, so that's fine. But I think for Wales, although I think I did mention it in another podcast, I would be interested in Wales going for independence. I don't think it should happen now. I think, again, it should be a thing done over time.
Yeah.
Same thing that should have happened with the fucking Brexit bullshit. But we all know how that went. So I won't beat a dead horse.
Yeah. Well, on that bombshell, we will move on to games.
Gaming! Can't go wrong with gaming.
So, what have we been playing this week, or past 2 weeks, I should say?
What have you played?
Well, I played through Maneater, PS5 version, which I was quite happy with. It's one of those switch your brain off, just kind of grind on game. Well, not grind on, but grind.
When you're up in the club.
Oh yeah, shark.
Oh yeah, shark. Is that what you call it? Now I know.
What do you call it?
My shark. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so that's the PS5 upgrade of that, which is it's quite good. It has some frame rate issues at some points, and like it by no means is it a AAA game, but it passed the test of fun while it lasted. I'd probably delete it soon, but it's fun.
I remember playing it a little bit. I never got past the first. I think it was the second area actually. I did tutorial, never got past the first boss because I was meant to go back to it. But now the PS5 versions, I'm like, I'll play that.
Yeah. It's one of those, you need to kind of just get into the rhythm of it. When you beat one boss, you're like, oh, that was all right, so I'll probably just go to the next area, and then you can beat the next one, and then you kind of just work your way around it. And there's like an interesting little shark hunter story in there as well. It's just a bit strange, but
isn't it like as a baby shark, your mum was caught or something, and then you had your fin cut off or something, or like you had a scar on your face or something?
It's a bit of a scar. That's how he recognizes you, and you're the shark that he's got this personal connection with, because
Jaws from the shark
to his family, and he's done something to yours.
Yeah. The battle of shark versus man, Jaws.
Yeah.
The shark's perspective.
But by the end of the game, I think the shark's kill count is way more than the hunters, to be honest.
Yeah, no, fair. The cat is in the hallway. That's fine, just leave him there.
I played Ratchet and Clank, the 2016 one. It apparently had a PS5 upgrade. Well, I say apparently, it has, because it's got 60 frames. It's one of those PS5 Lite upgrades where it isn't a proper PS5 version. It's like backwards compatibility improvements. Yeah. So they unlocked the frame rate to 60 frames and some kind of resolution bump as well, and it plays very well.
So it's like 4K scaled, I'm assuming. So probably from like 1080 to 4K scaled. The cat just walked in, sniffed, and left. But yeah, no, I remember
talking at no one and then left.
Oh, he's like, "Where's my attention?" I think I played through it at the beginning of the year, so I unfortunately missed the unlocking of the frame rate.
Seems to be the way some of these things.
Yeah.
Play it and then it'll just get upgraded out of nowhere because they have no communication about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It just happens.
But I mean, I'm glad that it's happening. I think it's a very fun, enjoyable game. I enjoyed my time with it, so I can only imagine with 60 frames, it's probably even better.
Yeah, the good thing about having a huge backlog is you don't play games, and then they get upgraded, then you want to play them then.
Yeah, exactly. I know, what was it? I think that was part of the PlayStation upgrade as well, wasn't it? It was part of the PS collection, so that's always fun.
Yeah, they need to just do the rest of them now. And Horizon and Last of Us 2, where's your upgrades at?
And Borderlands, fucking Bloodborne.
Yeah. Where's your upgrades at?
Yeah,
People are modding them to get 60 frames. Why can't some do it?
Oh, it's because money. Money. That's what
and
they
Last
care
of Us 2, there's like literally no excuse. Like, surely.
Oh, that should have had a PS5 upgrade. Yeah, I mean, I know it's got the haptic feedback, but that was pre-built into the system anyway, even before we knew what the PS5 was. So
I have a funny feeling they're going to try and just bundle it with the multiplayer aspect that they've got coming out. And
yeah, as every fucking company does now, and is like, hey, buy this version. Fuck off! I've already paid for it.
Yeah, and apparently I've read somewhere that Sony are not interested in taking any more risks, and they're actually going to remake Last of Us, the original one.
Yeah.
Even though it's only like 7 years old now, 10 years old.
I agree with it, but my issue with that sort of perspective, I do think a Last of Us 1 remake would be astonishingly fucking good, and I would absolutely play it, but I already own the game. Do you really fucking expect me, if they bring it out for 60 quid, let's say they're generous and they don't add the extra tenner on, as most games are doing, I'm not paying 60 quid for the same game again.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'll go back and play the old version. It's just as good.
I don't know, something about it just feels way too soon for something like that, like a remake of that.
I feel like another 2 years maybe.
It's like let companies be original now, like make another Uncharted game, make a Last of Us Part 3.
I think the thing is, what they should do with The Last of Us 1, if they're going to make a remaster one of that and be like, well, we want you to pay for this, tell you what, upgrade The Last of Us 2 for nothing and chuck that in there as well. And then charge like £30. You're making a bit of money, more people are likely to buy it because they're going to get the upgraded version of... Oh, no, just the flat-out better version of The Last of Us 2. It's a bundle, so more people are drawn to it automatically. Like... But they don't want to do that now because it's not consumer friendly.
Yeah, there's a few games that are coming out now with PS5 upgrades and stuff, which they're starting to charge for it now. You know, a Wreckfest, a game I had from last year.
I played
that's like if you want to get the upgrade, you've got to pay $10.
Yeah,
$10.
It's like fuck off. Like I've already paid for the game. Why are you making me pay for it again?
Final Fantasy. One of those, can't remember which one it is, 12 or something.
Yeah, 12, 13 maybe. I know they did 14.
They've got like a reimagined Super Edition, which if you own the game, then you get the free upgrade. But if you get the PS Plus Edition, you don't get the free upgrade, and they want you to buy it.
Yeah, because
like so they managed to make this distinguish like thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like wow, very generous.
I mean, I get it that companies are trying to beat their level of like, oh, we need to make more this year, we need to make more, we need to make more. But this impossible chase is gonna, and this is the thing, people like me and you will talk about this stuff and we won't pay for that kind of thing. We're like, nah, fuck it, we'll wait for it either to go on sale or when it comes out for free.
Yeah.
But there are so many people out there that have money that they could literally wipe their ass with. And it wouldn't affect them, that they just spend money on this shit. And it's just, people don't vote with their wallets. And it's like, if you don't vote with your wallet, then nothing's ever going to change.
Well, a lot of people, I guess, just don't have a problem with it. You know, it's just one of those things that they just don't even consider. They go into a game, go into a shop, buy a game, and that's it. Come out of it.
I think a lot
it's kind of old-fashioned, but
yeah, I think a lot of people as well. I think a lot of kids, obviously, they get their parents to get the stuff, so the parents don't understand the difference between them. They're just like, if a parent, some parents do. I know there's a lot more parents that probably game now and stuff, and they have their own consoles and whatever. But for parents that don't understand the system and don't understand it works, they're like, oh, okay, they've gone up a bit of money. All right, I'll still pay it. They don't quite understand it, and it's. I feel like people.
Yeah, when it comes to consoles like Xbox, like they've got the Xbox. What if you're a parent that doesn't know gamers or gaming in general? What the hell are you going to buy a child? Xbox One X, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, Xbox Series. But there's just so many different ones. Like, what the hell do you buy?
Yeah, I know
their naming strategy is stupid.
It is. It's ridiculous, but. We will be getting back onto the PlayStation Xbox battle later. That's a discussion I want to have a chat about in a bit.
Oh, please, yes.
What else have you been playing, good sir?
It Takes Two.
Yes. Now this is very we fun. Can both talk about.
Yes, a very fun co-op game that has been a joy to play with friends.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that kind of game, and it's got so many little references to films and popular culture.
Previous game they did.
Previous game, and like it's just a joy to play with. It's like the lost gaming years that
I was about to say, I don't know if you would agree. That is the first game that I have played in years. Not live service, not microtransaction bullshit. Game. Start, end, game. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And I've never felt more
confident as well.
Yeah, and I've never felt more confident that I'm going to go back and play that game again, even though when I finish it, the fun and enjoyment I've got from it, I'm happily play through it again. And ironically, it was made by EA.
Yeah. Well,
if you can do this, EA, why the fuck are you screwing your other games up? Like, I know they're the publisher.
They've done great.
I know they're the publisher, not the actual developers, but still, like, why aren't they like? What this kind of game needs to come back more? And I'm not just talking about games like A Way Out, like It Takes Two, where there's two people. That's very unique and it's a very cool thing. But single player games, not like The Last of Us 2, which are fucking overpriced and they look great and whatever, but just a start and end. That is it. No more. You pay £60. That is the game. You get everything and it's fun and you'll play it again. Not, you need to be connected to the internet 24/7 to access the single player stuff. Like, why is that a thing?
Yeah.
Just please.
Just, some decisions are baffling.
Yes.
But we just want to get back to the good old fashioned game. And speaking of good old fashioned games, we started playing through Zombie Army 4.
Yes. See you later. Mum's going to work. Sean said bye. Dead Army 4. I mean, I played the original trilogy and I do have them. I had never finished them, but Dead Army 4 is so much fun.
Is it Dead Army or is it Zombie Army?
I actually wrote it down. Yeah, Zombie Army 4. Sorry, my apologies. My bad.
Have I get it wrong?
No, it's me. It's me. Zombie Army 4 has been a lot of fun. I mean, we haven't done a lot of it, but it's still enjoyable. I mean, it still
feels like games of the past 10 years that have been lacking.
Yeah, I would still say the microtransactions can fuck off. I mean, I get it. They're like, well, we want to give something to you, but we want to charge you for it. It's like, I know there's 2 season passes currently. What is this double season pass crap? Just release it as an update. If you've paid for, I mean, granted, I got it free with the free games for the month. But if people have already paid for the game, excuse me, why are you forcing people to still pay for more? It's like, just release it as an update. So like, but you have to grind to unlock it. That would be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love the game, but it's just disappointing that it's still filled with microtransaction shit.
Yeah.
I don't mind DLC, that's fine, okay? If it's like an optional, hey, do you want to pay 69 pence and get this gun? No, instead it's like £3.50 for one gun, which is fucking abhorrent.
Yeah, it's like microtransactions, as long as it sticks to cosmetics only, then I'm not too fussed about it. But when it's like just weapons, you can buy single weapons and stuff, like what?
That's why the season like, I know when the season pass isn't on sale, it's £30. You get like 3 weapons, 3 characters and stuff. Why not just make that stuff unlockable in the game?
Who in their right mind is going to get the game for free, then pay £30 for another 6 levels?
Exactly. Like, I'm having a lot of fun with the game, but I'm struggling to find the excuse. Even though it's on sale right now, it's like £15. I'm still struggling to find a reason to go, that justifies £15. That should be in the game anyway, but I'll give you extra money. Like, games don't come out complete.
Yeah, I would be happy in the future, like as a random curveball thing, if in PlayStation Plus they started giving away season passes for games they've given away in the past. Yeah. I feel like that would be a good idea. If they don't have that extra game to give, they can just give you a season pass for a previous game, like, whatever.
And that might actually incentivize people to buy the game as well, if they don't have it anyway.
Yeah.
They might be like, oh, well, I've got this season pass for free. I'll have a look at the game and go from there.
Yeah, that could be a new kind of strategy for them, because it would encourage people to buy the game if they're getting the season pass or the deluxe edition upgrade for free. So, and that's an idea, Sony.
There you go, Sony. Take that for free.
Yeah, literally, it would cost you less, and yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You'd make more.
You don't have
probably.
to give away a full game. You can just give away a season pass. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, give away a full game as well. You know.
Yeah, don't just do like an entire thing of season passes. That would probably go down horribly. But
yeah, as an extra thing, extra gesture.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention the play at home thing. That also had Ratchet & Clank 2016 on, which the good thing they're doing. They're giving away like 13 games and free subscriptions to things and stuff, which is great for getting people to stay at home. Maybe a few months too late, but
it was like Horizon as well was on there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's coming like next month or something, which is amazing because that was missing off the PS Plus collection. That's a good,
That's an absolutely great game. If you have a PS4 or PS5, grab it when it comes out for free. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Hopefully they do an upgrade at the same time with 60 frames. And I'll definitely play it again then.
I'll play it again when that happens. It won't. It must be so easy to unlock it as well. I just don't understand this thing.
The fact they can do it with some games and work the magic and, not with others. It's just like...
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
Especially when they've got PC versions where people can max out the settings and have the frame rate anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it is possible then. You just can't be asked to unlock it for the PS5.
Yeah.
It can't take that long. I can't see it taking that long.
No.
Maybe unless it's like they have to unlock it and then they test the entire game to see if there's any areas that it's like shit. But even then, that would take like a week. Possibly. Yeah. So, I don't know.
Depends if you were built to run in 30 frames or if you were built to...
Well, this is what I would say is like, explain to us why you're not doing it. Don't just fucking don't say anything. It's like, well, you've done it with these games. Why not these ones? It's like, well, the game wouldn't be able to run it. It would crash. Oh, okay. You've explained it. But there's no reasoning, so we think you're dicks.
Yeah.
that's like it. Yes.
Yes, that's all the games I've played. What about you?
I've played a bit more Outriders. That's been fun.
Oh, yeah.
There is an upcoming update, which I'm baffled by, but I'll be honest. It's like they're planning on like changing the loot system, nerfing everything in the game. It's like they're making the game where Square Enix just don't know what the fuck they're doing with games anymore, I don't think. Marvel now outright, like, I don't get it. I
think the developers of People Can Fly for Outriders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Outriders is much more popular, and to be fair, it's not a bad game, but, I mean, I've not finished it or anything yet. I'm like about halfway through. I'm on like World Tier 8, but there is a point where it gets super repetitive as it is, and this is before they've changed the loot update and made loot harder and stuff, so I can't even imagine what it's going to be like after that. It'll be like The Division. It'll be like, well, what's the fucking point? I spent 10 hours in the game and don't get anything good.
I read something about that at the end game being a bit strange in the fact that you've got to kind of kill things to go up the world tiers, but if you die, then you lose progress or something, and you can go down.
You can.
So if it gets too hard, then you've got to keep grinding really slowly.
Well, I think I've managed to go from tier to tier, no problem. Tier 8 is kind of the one that I'm like halfway up on it, and it's just, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So I might go back down to 7 just to finish some stuff off and level up a bit. But the loot is a lot more scarcer than it was when I first started playing it, I'll say that much. So they've already done something to it. And it's not great for repetitiveness. It's quite rough. And that's not even the end game yet. So, I mean...
When I was playing the demo, I wasn't like riveted by the gameplay. I don't know if it was because of the class I chose. I chose the Pyromancer. I don't know if you've chosen that one, but I just found it kind of just like plain, and like I don't know, had that kind of MMO feel to it, like kind of not fully polished.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
It's a good game. I won't say, because it isn't a bad game. It is a good game, but they're gonna fuck it up. Square Enix are gonna fuck it up just like they've done with Marvel Avengers, because they're gonna fuck the loot now instead of just adding more loot, but lowering the chance of getting. This is what I don't understand. Like a lot of looter shooters go with this thing of, well, we're gonna nerf it, so you're gonna get less loot. Why? Just lower the chance of getting better loot, but give more loot. That incentivizes people to keep playing because they're getting the loot. It's just they won't get the great loot until later. But because they're getting a constant stream, they're more likely to play it. So why is this the go-to thing for looters? I just don't understand their fucking thinking of it. Because right now I think the peak players is something like ridiculous, like 128,000 people. That's going to drop massively.
It will.
Because people are going to be like, well, fuck this. I'm not wasting my time.
It just seems to be one of those ones that it'll probably be forgotten about like quite soon.
Yeah, in like a year's time.
Yeah.
I think they had like a 5-year or 6-year plan for it, but if they fuck this up, which they're going to, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I hope not, because it is a very.
Hopefully, they've made the majority of their money back by now, and can focus on doing something else.
It's a promising game. If they can if they don't fuck the loot up now, which they're going to, but if they didn't fuck the loot up and they improved it, it would be better than Marvel. It would rival Division. Like, it would just be good. It's a fucking good game, but they're just doing the same thing and fucking the loot, the main aspects of it. So, but yeah, hopefully it'll get better. I have my hopes.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. I played through Little Nightmares.
Oh.
The first game, the base one with this one over here. We played through that. It was good. Actually, surprisingly, normally with those kind of games, I'm not super into them because they're like more puzzle orientated. But it was fun. It was an interesting one. I'm waiting for the season pass for it to get all the DLC levels for the first game, something like £8. So I am debating about it. I know the second one recently came out, so I'm like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, I played Unravel 2 recently. I didn't finish it though, which I'm really annoyed about because it was a really good game. I was enjoying it, but my EA Play subscription ran out, and gone all those games. So I mean, it's not one of those I'm gonna like rush out to renew it just to play that.
Yeah.
But I love a little co-op puzzle game.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really good game. I highly recommend people go and play Little Nightmares. Also, Unravel 2. I still haven't played it yet. I've wanted to. I've played through the first Unravel and it was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, just imagine that, but with 2 players.
Yeah, exactly. So I can only imagine.
You can play it on your own as well. You kind of like got to mesh them together and control each one. So it'd be a bit of a faff, but with 2 players, it's perfect.
Absolutely.
It depends who you play it with, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah.
2 other ones, just quick, were Cold War Zombies. I've done the Outbreak mode on that, so it's like a open world aspect version of it, which is pretty good. I'll be honest, it's probably the most inventive thing they've done with zombies in a very long time. And as for Marvel Avengers, I mean, we've done a bit of grinding in that. It's fun, but it's still got the same fucking issue of loot. Actually, I even had the fucking glitch that didn't give me the goddamn loot that I was meant to get, so that was annoying. But
it's like one of those one step forwards. They did the one step forward with the PS5 upgrade, and now they've just released a patch which seems to have broken like more things. It's really unpredictable though.
I think every mission we did, we had like another bug.
Yeah,
it was just ridiculous.
But some of them were way buggier than others, and then it goes back to being really buggy, and then it goes back to being all right again.
I don't.
Jesus, what is this spaghetti code?
Again, Square Enix. How are you doing this? Like, you used to make good games. What the fuck happened? But yeah, again, on the subject of PlayStation and Xbox, talking about the Game Pass, since I have both systems and I have the Game Pass, so I'm very lucky in that sense. I gotta be honest, I feel like Sony need to like sort of start pushing their PlayStation Now more, and they need to seriously start putting better stuff on there. Otherwise, I don't think they'll ever go bust. Sony are massive. They're not going to like just run out of money and not be able to afford anything. But they seriously need to start making something that rivals the Game Pass soon. Otherwise, I can see a lot of people hopping over to the Xbox just for the Game Pass alone. I mean, because it works on PC as well. The games they have on the Game Pass are insanely good. And like stuff like Outriders, I didn't have to pay for it. It was on Game Pass. It was day one. There's like a Sony game, like what was it, NFL? Like the baseball, the show.
Yeah.
That's a Sony-made game that's coming out on the Game Pass. But you still have to pay full price on PlayStation for the game. So I'm not like sort of a sports person game or whatever, but like if someone is, they're automatically going to go, well, why would I pay £65 for the game there when I can play it for free there?
Yeah. How much is the Game Pass for the version you get, like all the games?
I'm actually not sure. I think they've upped it because it's now Game Pass Ultimate, isn't it? Let me check. Just
it's like the price of one game, but you're getting plenty of games.
So it's £11 a month.
Oh.
If you're paying monthly, for instance, as far as I can tell. Cause yeah, it got increased from like £8 to £11 a month. But I'll be honest, £11 a month for EA Plus. Well, you get all the EA games as well, all of Bethesda, all of the game like first day releases and stuff. I gotta say, I'd happily pay £12 a month for it.
Like, that is a good deal.
That's £12 a month for over 300 games, most of which are going to be day one releases as well.
Yeah, it's basically the same as Netflix at some points, or Disney. I don't know.
Literally, imagine, like, think of it this way as well. You pay say you pay £12 for a month, and let's say 4 games are coming out that month, and they're all coming out day one on the pass. To buy those 4 games at base price, you're talking 120, 180, 240 quid.
Yeah.
£12 and you get to play them all. Like, there's just it's a no-brainer at that point, which is why I'm like, Sony, you really seriously need to start thinking of something. Otherwise, people are just going to naturally, even someone like me who is more PlayStation than I am Xbox, I would happily, if like it's with Outriders, like even if I had a bunch of people who got it on PlayStation, I'd be like, I'll just cross-play with you on the Xbox. I'm not paying for the game.
Yeah.
It's free over there. Like, why would I bother? Or £12. So, I don't know. But maybe that's like a thing, I don't know. Discuss it in the comments or message me and call me an Xbox love boy or something. I don't fucking know. I'm a boomer. I don't know the names.
Boomer.
I don't know. What's kind of your thoughts on that? The Game Pass rivaling?
Yeah, I think this popularity of like the streaming services for games and just them services in general, because you can download them now and stuff. It's like really popular. They need to like up the game with it, and PlayStation Now is just kind of like a thing in the background. You can play PS3 and PS2 games and stuff on it, which is quite good.
Yeah.
But it's a bit outdated now in some ways,
and it's limited.
People want new things.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think what they should do, since they've shut down the PlayStation 3 store and everything like that, bring all the games out on PlayStation Now, and that would automatically get them a fuck ton of subscriptions.
Yeah, just all of them.
Because someone up in Sony, or was higher up, was like, oh, why would anyone want to go back and play old games?
Yeah.
Fucking dick. Clearly he shouldn't be working in the gaming industry, but there we are.
Yeah, especially not a PlayStation.
Yeah, Jesus, exactly. Like, there's so many good games on PlayStation 3 that they could literally just fucking chuck them on there and people would buy it just for that. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. At least there's healthy competition between them, and they'll have something in the works.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Let's hope.
They have to. They have to have every possibility like planned out these days.
Yeah. I can't imagine they're not going to have anything, but
yeah,
seriously, if this continues in a couple of years, Sony aren't even going to get remotely close to how big. Like, Xbox is only getting bigger as well. That's the thing about it. You know, and I know Microsoft are naturally the bigger company. They just are. There's no way Sony would ever beat them in that sense. But just add more games. I don't understand. Yeah. But
yeah.
I don't know.
No, they have to like merge it with something else, like anime streaming things, or I don't know.
Well, maybe that's what they'll do with the videos.
Just make it a better deal.
Because you can't buy like films and stuff anymore. Maybe they'll have their own streaming service connected to it.
Yeah, that could be what they're planning in the long run.
Maybe. Let's hope.
That'll be the people who are more kind of chill and not that like they like games, but they also like watching things as well.
Yeah, it would make a broader range. Like an audience.
We're full of ideas. Trademark.
Yeah, we should trademark all these.
Season passes on PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Video in PlayStation Now.
Make a ton of that.
Why aren't we in charge?
I know, literally.
Right. Shall we move on to films and TV, that kind of media?
We can indeed, good sir. What have you been watching?
Well, I watched a good film the other night called Run. It's on Netflix. It's got Sarah Paulson in it. It's about a mother and a daughter, and she's obviously looking after acting as a carer to this daughter. But does the daughter actually have all these issues and things? So I won't give away too many spoilers, but I probably already have. But it's a very interesting film, and it's quite tense at times. And Sarah Paulson is amazing in it as always. She plays lots of insane kind of characters, and it's probably the most sane I've seen her, but she's still insane. So yeah, it's a good film. I recommend it a lot. Yeah. That's it for the films, to be honest, because I haven't really watched it.
a lot of mine are anime based. I'm not gonna lie to you. So the first one is Soul Station.
Lie to me.
Also known as Soul Yuk. It's kind of like a zombie anime film. I had to watch it in sub, and it's a bastard to get hold of. But no, it was a good film. Interesting take on like a zombie kind of apocalypse thing. There was more to do with like the story behind these two different individuals meeting up, basically. I won't spoil too much because I do actually recommend people go watch it. It's good as long as you can, deal with watching it in sub. You'll be fine. You'll have a great time. I finished a few animes as well. The first one I'll talk about is season 1 of Assassin School. That was fun. It's enjoyable. It's kind of like a class of students trying to basically assassinate their teacher. It's amusing. Go and watch it.
Yeah, it sounds like
it's very interesting. I'll say that much. I also watched Hero Academia season 4 because that's still going. That was excellent. I can't wait for season 5, although we're going to have to wait a while. And I started watching an old 1987 anime called City Hunter. It's kind of like that classic, I say classic, but do you remember Johnny Bravo?
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing. Except anime style, so it's even more pushes the boundaries of being like sexist and shit. So I mean, watch at your own risk. If you're triggered by that, don't watch it. don't do it. And mostly like I've just been watching YouTube. So like a lot of like AVAC playlists, AAVAK, if anyone wants to go and look him up. I don't know, I find him a very relaxing guy to watch. He's very chilled, very relaxed. He never gets angry. He's always very nice and humble. Likes to use the word scallywag a lot, which I like. So, it's excellent. Very good YouTuber. Highly recommend it.
Speaking of YouTubers, I've been watching Blue Van Man.
Blue Van Man?
He's from Yorkshire, and he reviews all sorts of things. Food, like new things that come out, and, appliances, anything, he'll review it. He's very Yorkshire. It's just hilarious. Right, folks. It's I don't know why I find it so funny, but yeah, I watch that.
We all have that. I don't know if you'd agree. We all have that YouTube channel that we watch. We're like, why do we watch this? But I get such enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, seeing like how down to earth and normal some people are, rather than the whole flashy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to my channel. I have millions of pounds, but let's talk about makeup. Yeah. Not that I have a problem with
other YouTubers, and I'm the best. Watch me.
Yeah, no, I can't.
It's none of that. It's all down to earth, gritty, northern
British.
person.
Truly British. Truly a British person.
So yeah. I've also been rewatching a bit of Lost with you.
Of course, yeah, we're getting through that. I know, hopefully we'll watch some more now soon. Very, very soon. Because I do want to watch more, and we are doing very well with it, and I don't want to stop.
If you kind of like stop watching for ages, then it kind of destroys the momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, we're going to watch.
Tomorrow night we shall watch episodes of Lost. I've got a busy day tomorrow, but tomorrow night.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
Right.
It's been interesting for me to watch them again. It's been a while since I've rewatched it. I've rewatched it many times.
Yeah.
But especially the earlier seasons, watching the individual episode arcs and stuff, it's been really interesting to go back to it to like have your perspective on it and have fresh eyes watching it, and I can share my love of the series with you.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest. When I tried to watch it on my own, I did struggle quite a lot. It's been very fun to have someone to watch it with. So I find that with certain things, there are like films that Vic has shown me that I would never have even thought of watching, and I've watched it and I've gone, I actually love this film. But it's just like sometimes you need that like someone with you, and it just brings so much joy and enjoyment to it. So Lost has definitely been the thing you've helped me get through. So that's very cool, and I'm glad.
I thought of a good new career path now. Being a Sherpa for like series and things like you're the knowledgeable one, and this person could just ask questions and stuff.
Instead of being a cuddler, so like people cuddling, you can be the watcher. Watching buddy. The watching buddy. I charge per episode.
The wise one who drops the knowledge bombs every now and then.
Yeah, imagine people who want to watch Fringe and Lost, mate. You'd make a killing.
I know. Well, any questions, send them my way.
Oh, it'd be so good. So we'll have to do a special episode on like an anniversary of one of those after we've watched them all.
Yeah, it's like a niche little career path, that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like it.
I'm going to start it.
Yeah.
You're my first victim.
I'm the first victim. Oh, great. Okay, that's great. That's good to know.
£10, please.
Oh, great. No, I have to pay to watch it with you? God damn.
Yes. No, I won't charge you for this series.
Yeah, this is the test. I'm the test. I'm the guinea pig. That's that's how this works. All right. Cool.
But yeah, shall we move on to some interesting things?
Yeah, the final part of the show, as we always do it, we do it every week. It's called the Random Things. We talk about random subjects, random things either we've got from other people, ourselves, or whoever. So, where would you like to start?
Well, I think it would be good to touch on the OCD podcast you did, and I just obviously watched it the other day.
Yeah, I would ask this question: did you learn anything about OCD watching it?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I found it really interesting. I was talking about the kind of anxiety that goes with it, and like when people you've seen have been trying to deal with the OCD rather than the anxiety, which. It's like oh, that's like a really interesting point where you felt like the dealing with anxiety was better than actually treating the OCD.
Yeah, I found that fascinating as well because I'd never heard him say that before. I've known Josh for many years, but I've never heard him talk about the anxiety to it. So when he told me that, I was like, oh, I kind of deal with the anxiety that helps with the OCD. I'm like, mate, this guy's got brains.
Yeah. He came across very intellectual and well spoken, and it's like a pleasure to listen to.
You should hear his humor behind the scenes. He'll hate me for saying that, but you should.
One day maybe I'll find out.
Yeah,
but he came across very well.
What was the most surprising thing to you? Was it the anxiety stuff, or was there any other parts that kind of made you go, "Oh, bloody hell, I didn't think of that"?
Some of the experiences he goes through, and the toilet thing can be like 3 hours and all sorts like that, and it's like, oh my god, like I mean, OCD for me has kind of been, I hate to say it, but downplayed, and like I've not really given it much thought because I don't suffer with it, and none of my family suffers with it.
Absolutely.
And everything in media you see kind of downplays it a bit, and people, if people are having a bad day and they want to like organize things a certain way, oh, I've got OCD, and like it's kind of just like batted off a little bit. I mean, I remember programs I used to watch when I was younger, like where they got a load of freaky people or something, that's what they called them, and put them in a like mansion and they tried to conquer their fears. Like one of them was like a hygiene, like had a fear of germs and stuff, and like probably OCD, and like they just got to put a hand on a toilet and then eat a sandwich afterwards, and then they're just like, oh my god, I'm cured. And it's like that's the kind of stuff they were putting out on TV 15 years ago.
It's shocking because I admittedly, I'm not going to lie about it. When before I'd really had that was the first time I'd had like a proper in-depth conversation with Josh about it. And I'd always been a believer of like kind of the stereotypical stuff. I never realized there was so much to it, so many damaging things that come with it. It isn't just like, oh, we wash our hands. That we obviously talked about in the podcast, which was that's extremely harmful and actually causes most of the time when people need to wash their hands. And I was like, wow, I had no idea. So, like, you should have seen it after the podcast. I was like, I'm so sorry I perpetuated shit. I was, like, so apologetic. But he was so good about it. He was so lovely. And, hopefully I'll do another... I know he's got so many more things he wanted to talk about it. But, maybe in the future.
And another interesting was the light switches and things like the fear of fires and things like... Yes, things you just don't normally think about, but it's a very, very logical, like you were saying, logic-based. But, it's just amazing, surprising, and you're just like, I'm learning so much here.
Yeah, I was glad. I'm glad. I'm very, very glad that you enjoyed it. And the main thing, like I said, is not to be like patronizing to people, because I learned a lot as well, but to educate people on it. I think that's the main thing that comes from it, is just everyone sort of sees it as this... Someone will stand there for 5 minutes and wash their hands, but it's not so simple.
It's the many things that come along with it, isn't it? Like with most things, it's easy to call it a name, but you don't actually realize the effect it has on people, and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah. Did you realise one thing I was going to ask you about, because I've asked a few people about this, and it's surprising the answer I get most of the time, which is, did you realise that how many different versions of OCD there are? That literally there are as many different versions as people that have it.
No.
Because it's a mental health thing, man.
Yeah, it's people are all so unique, aren't they?
Yeah,
There's so many different things that we can't just place one size fits all on things.
It's a surprising thing.
I mean, yeah, because it can like spawn on irrational fears and things like that, like all different kinds of things. It's just it's not a gold mine. What am I trying to say here? It's a pit of horrible. Right, I'm just digging myself a hole. So
it's like a pit of anxiety. That's essentially what OCD. Everything just gives you anxiety.
Yeah. Okay.
And people normally see like the frontal part of it, and then they don't see like the 15,000 miles worth of shit behind it. They just see the front part.
Yeah. I don't even know where I was going with that. I think it's because I've been talking for an hour.
It's like, I'm getting tired now, Judge.
Blah 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 blah.
No, that's fair.
So yeah, anything you want to talk about?
I'll be honest. That's all I had. I this week, I don't know why this week, but I found it so difficult to find anything to talk about. Especially in the random things. I think the death of Phillip really threw me off as well, because I was like, oh god. How do I go around this now? And I think it's been like quite a positive week for me. So normally I bitch and rave on here, but I have bitched and raved in this one, but not as much as I thought. I think there was like one more thing that you had, wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, there was like an interesting question that it like spawned on from last week when you like, is it good for fans and streamers or something?
Yeah.
And we likened it to bands and like groupies and stuff. Is it good for them to meet up or hang out?
Fans date streamers date their fans and things. Yeah.
So it's a kind of more general question of like, is it okay or should you stay friends with your exes?
Should you stay friends with your exes? Let me see. We did. No, I think it differs from every situation, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I've always done my. I would say this, but I unfortunately, I've not been the best at staying friends with exes, and I kind of kick myself for that because I kind of pride myself on the fact that now, at least, anyway. Granted, a couple of years back, I wouldn't have been able to say this, but now I feel much more mature, and if I can be friends with it, like it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But unfortunately, a couple of years ago, I was a bit of an arsehole, so that unfortunately didn't happen with a lot of my exes. So, I mean, I would say yes. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's fine.
Like it's very much depends on like how you are before this relationship or afterwards.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people I've maybe been with, like, it's never lasted long, but it's kind of like I was never really good friends with them before we kind of got in a relationship. We always kind of met up with the intention of being together.
Yeah, it's like quick.
It's kind of like the forced kind of thing. But if you're good friends with someone before that, then I feel like that's a better chances of you being friends afterwards.
Yeah, it's better to go from a friendship into it, because not only are you aware that your bonds are strong anyway, but if it doesn't work out, you've still got that friendship there. It's not like something that's, oh, well, we've had nothing but a relationship. It's just there is a friendship still there that means more.
Yeah. So it just very much depends on the situation. Like, if you've met someone online and you're just like speaking to them with the intention of being with them, not as friends but as lovers, or in a relationship, then it's kind of difficult.
It is.
Yeah.
I think there's such a it's like that thing of like, if you're talking about something like OCD, it's very individual, isn't it? Like some people will outright go, no, can't be friends with an ex. Some people will get into relationships, find out that person's friends with an ex, and they'll go, no, not having it. I don't know. I feel like that's something that's been bred into humans to kind of be a thing of like, well, you don't stay with someone if you've been with them.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a kind of like a
taboo.
A generational thing as well. Like,
yeah.
This day and age, people are more likely to just drop people, ghost people, like that's an break.
Which is sad.
Literally just, no connections there because they just want to swipe left more and more.
absolutely.
Whereas in the olden days, all you had was your local village.
Yes. I think now as well, relationships are seen very differently, because in the past it was like if you got married, that was it. You fucking stay with that person.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's divorce is kind of like an everyday thing. It's completely natural. If you're not happy with each other anymore, leave. Find someone that you can be happy with. And I think that's why a lot of people don't stay friends with their ex. You know, I think a lot of people go out with the intention of finding just a relationship and not building off a friendship they already had with someone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Whilst it's good, like that people that times have changed and like you don't have to stay in an unhappy relationship anymore and stuff like that. It's also kind of like gone so far the other way. It seems like that it's breeded this like new form of liberalist hippie kind of thing where like you don't have any connections with people and you just want to like get the job done and
I just want to fuck. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, children, if you're watching. Not that you're watching.
Sean is the PG. I am the mature.
Yeah.
Rating wise, I wouldn't say I'm the more mature between us. But yeah, no.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's different for everyone. Just
I'll ask another person. What's your opinion on staying friends with exes? What's kind of your take on it? Do you think it's okay, or do you think that it's circumstantial? Do you think it's wrong? Why? Why not?
I'm playing a game.
Fascinating answer.
We did all right.
Yeah, because
I guess it's circumstantial.
This is such a weird situation for me because I've dated. Yeah, no, me and you dated. Well,
actually, that's perfect because that's not at the front of my mind. So I'm glad you brought that up.
That's all right. And
we dated in school, and obviously things happened, and then we drifted apart. It's school, yeah, I know. But we were able to be friends again after that, no problem. Because I guess nothing bad actually happened in that relationship.
I don't know. I think
it was just a thing.
I think being in school. I don't know if you'd agree, Sean. I don't think school relationships are kind of. I know you can get those few exceptions where you you meet your sweetheart in school and that's it. You're together forever. It's that dream thing. And it does happen, but I don't know.
School,
I feel
you're kind of finding yourself, and feelings are all over the place. Hormones.
Find out who you are, let alone who the other person is. At that point, you're becoming a person at that point.
I think personally, I think we've talked about this before on the podcast show, but I wouldn't say anything until you're about 16. Like you leave school, you're now out in the world, you're discovering who you are. Maybe between 16 and 18, somewhere around there. Any relationship kind of after 18, I would say, oh yeah, that's a relationship. So, going off that fact then, I know we've stayed friends. Like, we became friends before we started dating again. Which was an interesting journey again. Because I was very different.
This relationship, I don't know if you want to get into it, but
oh, God.
On my side of the story, we've
been
dating longer.
What?
Oh, because it's just one of those things. We weren't actually planning on getting into a relationship together. It just sort of happened.
Yeah. Well,
I've been dating you for a week longer than you've been dating me, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, that was fun. Yeah, no, because I had no interest in it.
I think it depends on the person's confidence in themselves and if they get paranoid about anything, trying to break up the relationship or trying to ruin it.
I think
if it's a threat to the relationship or their well-being, I think people have a problem with it.
I would say this much though. I would say with paranoia and kind of anxiety in a relationship, would you say that's on the other person for being friends with their ex? Or do you think that's on the person who has the paranoia? Do you think they need to work on themselves clearly?
Definitely the ones who have the paranoia. That's.
What do you think, Sean?
Rephrase the question.
Okay, so when let's say you get into a relationship with someone and they're friends with their ex, and they still hang out with them, they still talk and that. Do you think that it's fair for someone to be paranoid, or do you think the paranoia can be attributed to clearly something not right with that person. They still need to get help for their mental health, whether it's their mental health or just they've not accepted something from the past.
Yeah. I think it's acceptable for that person to be slightly concerned, but not paranoid, really. Like
starting to have what I mean by paranoid, I'll sort of explain what I mean by that, because that can mean many different things. Paranoid in the sense of like, well, I don't want you hanging out with this person, or you can't be friends with this person. Kind of that kind of paranoid. I know the paranoid you were coming to is like, oh well, I'm concerned because I care about you and I love you. I just don't want to, I'm worried that you might go back to them or something. I get where you're coming from with that, and I think that's okay. Especially communication, important.
Yeah. It's you need to trust that person, and if you're constantly paranoid that if anyone they look at in the street or they speak to is, they're gonna end up banging, then you really just sort yourself out.
Yeah.
You have to be able to trust each other in the relationship.
Yeah.
Or have many different friends. Like you can't be totally one-on-one together forever. Like never see anyone else.
Take it from me. It doesn't work.
You can't devote yourself to one person like constantly.
Yeah. I mean, I think because one of the first it sounds horrible, but I think when we made it official, me and you dating, I think one of the first things I actually said to you, and it was no bullshit, the first thing I said is, I'm not changing my friends. I'm friends with who I am. If you don't like it, leave now. And I know that might sound a bit harsh.
Different wording, but yeah.
Yeah, no, but I think at the time I said something along the lines of, I am who I am. If you don't love me, for me, leave. I think there's something along that. And I know that can come across quite horrible and quite forward, I'll be honest. But you were very sort of, like, you weren't horrible about it or rude or didn't take it as an insult. You went, okay, same goes for me then. You were just, I think that's why we've worked so well. Because it's just, we know where we stand with each other. We're always talking. I think we've talked about this in the podcast before. It's like, communication is key. If you don't talk, it's never going to work.
It's like, I am not an IKEA product. I come pre-built, okay?
Exactly. What a way to put it.
You cannot change me. You cannot
an excellent wardrobe.
I am as you get me.
I am an excellent wardrobe filled with shit and items.
Fill me with clothes and I'm happy.
There's skeletons in me. Don't worry about it.
I know what to get for your birthday. But thank you for your take, Vic. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. I behaved myself.
I behaved myself. It's fine. No, that's a fair point. I think that was a good discussion. That's like a discussion you could go on again. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like we could talk about that for hours. There's so many different rabbit holes you could go down.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those things. Like for me, like doing the OCD podcast, I want to do more podcasts like that with you specifically as well, Sean. Like we'll take one topic and really delve into it, something that we can both relate to. I'll probably end up doing one with Vic at some point. I know I'm in talks with a couple of people to do like mental health ones, but that's still nothing set in stone. So I don't want to announce anything because plans can change. But yeah,
it's just a lot of planning will have to go into all those ones, won't it?
Yeah, a lot more time it takes to do those ones. Not that these ones don't take time. You still have to like research everything.
The person is happy talking for like an hour and a half about a certain subject. A lot of people have different kind of tolerances for it.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm probably beating the shit out of my mic. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to. It was falling. So.
It's all right. I like the sound.
I like the ear scratching. It's wonderful. It's like ASMR.
But yeah, I think that's been a fruitful discussion.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that. That was a very good suggestion, Sean. But yes, I think that's it. I don't think we've got anything else now, do we?
No, I think we've covered it. Covered a good ground. I guess counselling session is over.
Yeah. Well, that's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, as always, Sean. And to everyone that watched or listened, because I know the audio podcast will come out first, but thank you very much for taking the time to do so and watch or listen. It's always appreciated, and we have a good time making this. There will be a little special thing that will be coming out for the year of the podcast going on.
When's our anniversary?
Our anniversary is on the 16th, darling. God, catch up. Apparently I'm planning a striptease. Yes. That's private for Sean, though. But yeah, as always, mate, it's a pleasure talking to you. And to anyone that watched, thank you very much for doing so. And thank you to Vic for joining in a few discussions and tagging along. It's always appreciated. But yes, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll do this again very soon.
Absolutely. 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks' time. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. It's always a pleasure. And again, if you haven't seen it, go and check out the last podcast. I highly recommend you do, because it is a very, very good educational one as well. So thank you everyone. As always, it's been a pleasure. And goodbye.
Goodbye.